Here in the US, we have a restaurant called Wiener Schnitzel.
What? The world's largest hot dog. USA. Listen, USA. USA, I love your food, okay? I love your food, but you're calling the hot dog chain Wiener Schnitzel. Come on. Hi, YouTube! Welcome to another video! Today, we're watching The Legend of the Wiener Schnitzel. As you guys know, I'm German and I mean technically Wiener Schnitzel, Wien is in Austria, but guys, Schnitzel is a very German food, okay? Schnitzel is a very German food. Let's go. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the legend. I don't know the history about it.
Here in the US, we have a restaurant called Wiener Schnitzel. Ironically, they sell hot dogs and not, as you might guess, the Austrian national dish Wiener Schnitzel.
Dude, why'd they call it that? Why did they call it that then? Guys, what the heck?
So instead, I'm going to make it myself using a recipe from 1824. So thank you to Babbel for sponsoring this video as I make schnitzel of the Wiener variety. This time on Tasting History.
Is he gonna learn German, you guys? I know, this is a great restaurant, bro.
So last October, while I was in Vienna, several viewers took me to dinner at Figlmüller, a restaurant founded in 1905, which is famous for serving traditional Wiener Schnitzel.
This looks so good. Whoa.
But what exactly is traditional Wiener Schnitzel?
Whoa.
Well, Schnitzel, which likely comes from the term schnitten, meaning to cut, is a thinly sliced piece of meat that has been breaded and fried. And there are different versions of it all over Central Europe and even here in the US, I guess, if you consider chicken fried steak a schnitzel, which I think I do. But what?
I mean,
In the US, I guess, if you consider chicken.
I mean, that's a lot of sauce, but I mean, it's, I don't know. Chicken katsu is also very similar to schnitzel, right?
And fried steak a schnitzel, which I think I do. But what makes a Wiener Schnitzel, literally Viennese schnitzel, is that it is made using veal. And one of the earliest recipes.
You say no? I wonder what are the Germans in the chat saying? You guys think it's a schnitzel or no? Okay, Mia says no. I mean, I don't know.
That I could find came in an 1824 cookbook that translates to Useful Book for the Kitchen When Preparing Meals by August Erdmann Lehmann. Now this recipe
I mean, what makes a schnitzel?
actually predates the term Wiener Schnitzel, so it's simply called Kalbschnitzel, which means veal schnitzel. And it says thin slices are cut from coarse raw meat, pounded well and seasoned with salt, sprinkle pepper, then add 1 teaspoon of fine herbs and parsley, lemon zest, and warm butter, mix in 1 egg, turn the schnitzel in it, breaded with breadcrumbs, fry in hot butter on both sides for 2 minutes in a pan, basted with lemon juice, and served with a spicy sauce.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do that much. Dude, we have der Schnitzelklopper in chat. Klopper. Der Schnitzelklopper in chat. That's crazy. We have a professional here. Holy shit. Holy. Okay, so when I actually made schnitzel on stream a few weeks ago. Guys, if you don't want to miss my cooking streams, come over to Twitch. But also, I'm gonna stream on YouTube soon. But I'll do it on my second channel. If you don't want to miss the cooking streams, so check that out. But yeah, I made schnitzel a few weeks ago on stream. And I made it very easily. Like, I cut it, I mean, obviously, I pounded it. You kind of have to make it thin. And then I seasoned it with salt and pepper. But I didn't add any herbs or that kind of stuff. Or butter. You season it? No, I didn't do all of that, bro. I didn't do all of that. What I did, that's what Mama Pion told me to do. I added the salt and pepper, then I put it in normal flour, then I put it in egg, and then I put it in breadcrumbs, and then I just then I made it.
So this recipe is similar to a modern-day Wiener Schnitzel, except usually the modern-day version doesn't have the herbs and the butter and the lemon zest with the egg wash. It's just dipped in egg.
Dude, I should have just let him talk. Oh!
Also is missing a key ingredient or a key step in its preparation, which is dredging it in flour. A modern day schnitzel is always
Oh my
dredged in
God.
flour, which helps the breading kind of lift away from the schnitzel later on.
Dude, at least, you know I'm not lying, guys. At least now you know I'm not lying.
And you'll start to see that in recipes in the late 1800s, and by the early 1900s, all recipes have that, but this one doesn't. The other difference is how this one is served. It says that it is served with lemon, which is traditional, but then it's also served with a spicy sauce. And unfortunately, the cookbook is not specific in what spicy sauce is. I looked through it, I couldn't find anything. It might be referring to something that at least used to be called zigeuner sauce, which translates to gypsy sauce, and it is just a sauce of paprika and different peppers. But the recipe is not clear, so I don't want to...
Is that spicy? Is that really spicy? I don't think it is. Also, they changed the name on that, by the way. Yeah, they changed the name on this. I don't think it's spicy, though. Maybe, is it spicy for German standards? Because it's paprika. Paprika, like bell pepper. There's a lot of different sauces for schnitzel. There's also one with mushrooms and stuff, yeah.
To do that, because that might not be right. Also, Wiener Schnitzel today is not served that way, nor has it been for a very long time. So I'm going to look to yet another old recipe from a cookbook called the Österreichische Küche, or
Dude, his pronunciation is actually not bad, you guys.
Austrian cuisine, published in 1900. And it says that when serving Wiener Schnitzel, you put a lemon wedge with every schnitzel and some green parsley on the dish. Also, a huge thank you to Charlotte Witteshagen for sending me both of these recipes. She did this way back in the summer of 2021, and I am just getting to them now.
Wait, what year was this uploaded? 2024. And in 2026, the German VTuber's looking at it. Yeah, it's just like me.
I have quite the backlog, but thank you, Charlotte, for sending me these. Also, this is kind of a change of gear, but my mother is trying to plan us a trip to go see the Christmas markets in Germany and Austria, and she wanted me to ask if anyone in Germany or Austria, one, has any suggestions, but more so, if you have any people that you know who can help set up a trip like that. Let me know in the comments or...
I mean, I feel like it's too late, right? But there's a few pretty ones. I feel like in every big German city, there's like a pretty Christmas market, yeah. Actually, that's a good recommendation. Someone said earlier in chat that they want to go to Germany. Honestly, if you can go to Germany in December, I think it's really nice to just look at the Christmas markets.
Email me, that would be awesome. Really, really looking forward to it, and I can spend this year brushing up on my German with some help from today's sponsor,
Yeah, they're
Babbel.
just crowded.
Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world, and it really, really helped me get around Vienna when I was there last autumn. So another year of practicing my German, and I should be really set to go visiting die Weihnachtsmärkte, that is, the Christmas markets.
Yes, look, guys. Oh, wait, what? I don't know what place this is, guys. I can't recognize places. I can't recognize places, but yeah, looks good, right? Wow.
Babbel makes it so easy to keep up with your daily goals that you can sustain it for an entire year because their lessons are like 15 minutes long, so you can just sneak them in throughout the day. They also really help you keep on track with their games and their podcasts. And I love their podcasts because they help you get the language in your ear. And it's so important to have that because even if you're not confident speaking the language, just being able to understand it when you're traveling is a huge help. But with Babbel, you will be confident speaking it as well. Especially since Babbel prepares you for real-world...
Snails mentioned. Snail mentioned. Zimtschnecken. Cinnamon snail, guys. Literally cinnamon snail.
Situations. Haben Sie Zimtschnecken? Do you have cinnamon rolls? So to get started speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks, just click the link in the description or the QR code up in the corner and you'll get 60% off of your subscription with Babbel's New Year's sale. Now for this recipe, what you'll need is 2 to 3 veal cutlets. Now if you don't like veal or just don't want to use veal, you can use chicken or pork. Those work as well. Technically they're not Wiener Schnitzel, they're just other types of schnitzel, but
I actually had this, I made the one that I made on stream with pork. And, oh shit, we call them Wiener Art. Which basically means like, Wiener kind? Right? Like, basically like kinda like Wiener, but not really. Yeah. Austrian way, yeah. That's the Austrian way is a veal, I guess. But as I said, as he said, there's also schnitzel with chicken or pork. I really like the chicken schnitzel. Just like that. It's so good.
Nobody's gonna care. A bit of salt and pepper for seasoning, 1 teaspoon of herbs and parsley finely minced, a half teaspoon of lemon zest, 1 tablespoon of melted butter, 1 egg, and plenty of breadcrumbs crushed very fine. Then for frying, she does say to use butter. Now, she's going to be using, I promise you, clarified butter, because if you just use regular butter for this, the smoke point is so low that it will start smoking and burning before you're actually frying anything, so you want clarified butter, or you can use anything else that any other oil that you want, but clarified butter, that's gonna be the best flavor, I think. So,
I don't know exactly what clarified butter is. I'm gonna Google clarified. Oh, okay, no, I do know what it is. It's basically pure butter, right? Pure butter.
So first, take the cutlets of meat and using a mallet or a meat tenderizer, pound them out for a couple of minutes until they are a little bit thinner than your pinky. And to avoid a mess, it does help to wrap the meat in plastic wrap or parchment. Then sprinkle each piece of meat with some salt and pepper for seasoning and rub it in, and then in a wide bowl, gently beat the egg until it's just smooth, and then add the herbs and parsley and the lemon zest and the melted butter and mix it all together. Then dip the cutlets into the egg, shaking off any excess, then dredge them in the breadcrumbs, pressing the breadcrumbs in to make them adhere. Then in a large flat pan, heat the clarified butter to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius, and set the meat in the pan, letting it...
Oh my god, guys, I'm getting so hungry. My food is gonna take another hour, you guys, because I scheduled it ahead, but I wish I could have it now. I wish I could get it now.
Fry for about 1 to 2 minutes, making sure it's not sticking to the pan. You can actually rock the pan back and forth to make sure that the schnitzel remains floating in the fat. Now
you have to put it in a lot of fat. That's what Mama Pune said as well. Mama Pune told me it has to drown in oil.
Today, one mark of a good schnitzel is that it is like this big around. You want it like overflowing the plate. The thing is, I couldn't find a piece of veal nearly that big, and I think that if I tried to fry a piece of meat that big, I would just end up splattering myself with hot oil, so I'm using smaller pieces. But if you can get a big piece, use a big piece. Just be careful when you flip the schnitzel over to allow it to fry for another minute or two on the other side. Then remove it from the pan and let it drain on some paper towel while you finish up the rest of your pieces of meat, and I tell you the history of Wiener Schnitzel.
Time for history! Wait, what did you say? It's facts filler. He is filling up my brain with the facts. That's true. This is kind of peak. It is. It's so freaking good. I wonder if okay, so the reason why nowadays you want to, well, he said that, right? If you put the schnitzel in flour first and then an egg and then in the breadcrumbs, it's gonna like separate the crust, right? And you kind of want that nowadays. I wonder how it's gonna be like with his version, with the old version, if it's gonna separate, because he said to press the crumbs in, right? So I'm curious. It's gonna wrinkle up. I wonder how it's gonna be like. I wonder how this one's
The origin of schnitzel is a point of contention.
Do you air fried, bake it, or broil it? You should fry it.
Just debate, namely because it's filled with legend and guesswork. What is fairly sure is that it did not start out in either Vienna or any of the Germanic-speaking world. Some have claimed that they had breaded and fried slices of meat in Constantinople in the 12th century, and others claim that it dates further back to ancient Rome, and still others say it was the Moors of Spain who first coated meat in bread and fried it. And to all of that, I say, poppycock. Poppycock, I say.
Poppycock? What? Don't have access to fry? No, not in a fry. You just fry it in a pan with lots of oil.
Say, because the fact is, all of these claims are always made without any evidence of any kind, and it's more likely that people were putting bread stuff on meat and frying it long before anyone was writing any of this stuff down. But that doesn't mean that the myths that are often associated with the invention of schnitzel aren't interesting and, frankly, worth at least mentioning. One of my favorites is the fact that the schnitzel is golden brown comes from the practice of gilding food or covering it with gold that was popular in the Middle Ages.
What?
Now, I have bedighted several medieval dishes with gold leaf here on the channel, as during the Middle Ages...
Dude, people are so fancy. People are so fancy. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Guys, would you like... Oh my god. I've never tried gold leaf. I've never tried... What does it say about me? That I'm a peasant, maybe.
Putting gold on your food was a wonderful way to show off your wealth. I mean, Salt Bay's tomahawk steak that is covered in gold foil is nothing new. He's just copying from the 13th and 14th century cooks of Europe and charging way too much for it. Throughout medieval Italy...
Well, yeah, because the gold leaf, well, either it's not real gold or it's like so little gold that it doesn't matter, right? He flopped? Oh. Well, it makes sense. Like, it's not worth it. From what I have heard, gold doesn't even taste like anything. So you're just overpaying for a piece of meat.
This was a very popular thing to do if you were stupidly wealthy, and in Venice it became so en vogue that even the nuns of Santa Maria Celeste were said to have put gold flecks into the bussolai biscuits that they sold. These are a famous Venetian butter cookie that are today colored gold not with actual gold, but with far less expensive egg yolk. But in the Middle Ages, according to legend, it was gold. Well, in the 16th century, the Council of Venice set limits on the amount of gold that could be used in the kitchens. So not being able to use gold to cover the food, the cooks of 16th century Venice looked to something else, and that was breadcrumbs, which they could fry to a golden brown, which has to be one of the silliest theories I can think of, because while breadcrumbs probably taste better than gold, it doesn't have the same cachet, the same bling as gold. It would be...
Well, but, you know, it tastes better. It's probably better to use breadcrumbs instead of just using gold, right? I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't eat gold, guys. Don't eat gold. It's better to use it for jewelry. Or stonks, maybe.
Be like...
Or electronics. Electronics, yeah. Poverty take? Okay, whatever.
Writing Ferrari on the side of a Toyota. Everybody knows that it's not a Ferrari. You're not fooling anyone.
Exactly!
So while the idea of Italian cooks ditching gold in favor of breadcrumbs is kind of far-fetched, the Italians did have their own version of schnitzel. There is a dish from Milan known as cotoletta alla milanese, which is essentially a veal cutlet breaded and fried in clarified butter, though...
I've heard that before. Milanese, yes.
The same exact dish has appeared in French cookbooks since 1735, so some claim that it was actually the French who brought the dish to Italy, but it doesn't really matter where it started out. It's the Italian version that gave rise to perhaps the most popular myth about the advent of schnitzel. This legend says that Austrian Field Marshal Josef Radetzky, while he was commanding the Austrian forces in Lombardy, Venezia, was introduced to this Italian veal dish, and he loved it so much that he decided to bring it back to the Viennese palace and introduce it to the emperor, who also loved it so much that he had it made all the time, and so it became the national dish.
Dude, so many cooks. Are you kidding me? So many chefs. Kitchen nightmares could never. They're always understaffed.
That is definitely not true, seeing as that would have taken place in like the mid 19th century, and we have recipes going back further than that, but still, fun story. No, unfortunately, all of...
I feel like that's like a lot of European food stories, right? That like the emperor or the king loved something so much, and then it became like the national dish or something.
The fun stories are just that. They're stories. None of them have any basis in truth. It's more likely that Wiener Schnitzel and Schnitzel in general was just invented by different cooks, perhaps at different times, who breaded some meat and fried it. It's not that complicated. It's not only in Europe, it's all over the world, different versions of this, so it's just cooks passing it around. And that's how most dishes come to be. One thing that is clear is that the German and Austrian cookbooks of the 18th and 19th century do have many variations on this dish. Some aren't even fried. There are versions that are baked, like one in the 1719 Salzburger Kochbuch by Konrad Hager. And a recipe from 1740 has it being coated only in flour and not breadcrumbs, and then fried. So that's like the opposite of what we're making today.
I've tried that before with what did I make? Oh yeah, I wanted to make crunchy what are they called? The mushrooms, the thin this is like so different. But the skinny, thin mushrooms, you know, from, they had a Japanese name. I forgot. But, I tried to also make them like a schnitzel. Enoki, yes, enoki mushrooms. I tried to make them in a schnitzel, but I didn't have any, like a schnitzel, but I didn't have any breadcrumbs. So I only put them in egg and flour. And they ended up so... I wanted them to be crunchy on the outside, but they didn't end up being crunchy at all. So it was such a disappointing... It's such a disappointment.
And then there are versions that are made with veal, some are with pork, some are with chicken, others with beef that isn't veal. And then there are versions that are covered in sauces, and some that are even covered in cheese. But none of them...
Cheese? I haven't heard that, you guys.
Them are exactly like the Wiener Schnitzel of today. In fact, the term Wiener Schnitzel doesn't even begin to appear until the latter half of the 19th century. In 1893, a publication from Leipzig says that Wiener Schnitzel is a synonym for the more popular Kaiserschnitzel. And it was in the early 20th century that the Austrian culinary scene decided to champion this term Wiener Schnitzel as being a veal cutlet that is turned into a schnitzel, kind of as a way to distinguish its cuisine from other German cuisines of the time. It was also around this time that restaurants in Vienna began...
And now it's the most popular one! That's silly. Wiener Schnitzel could work with a Roquefort topping. Dude, I don't think I've tried Schnitzel with cheese before, but it sounds so good. Honestly, wow.
Specializing in Schnitzel. The food writer Franz Josef Beutel, writing in 1901, said that no menu is complete without a Wiener Schnitzel, whether it's the restaurant of a roadside inn or that of one of Vienna's grandest hotels. And by 1913, in Vienna, for Wiener Schnitzel, it's clear that the sauces and cheese are eschewed. And for a proper Wiener Schnitzel, you put a lemon wedge with every schnitzel and some green parsley on the dish.
Yes.
And that's how I'm doing it today. It's so simple and yet adds a wonderful flavor. And that is how it was served when I went to Figlmüller last autumn. And suppose...
Wait, they didn't even serve... Okay, this girl has... Oh, okay, some of them have like a... Okay, because usually I feel like you would eat schnitzel with fries and or like mashed potatoes, something, or potato, any sort of potato actually. Any form of potato I feel like is common. Yes. But those are also like really big, right? I don't think you need anything else besides this, because those are like huge.
Supposedly, that's how they've been cooking it since they opened in 1905.
Crazy.
And today, the term Wiener Schnitzel is actually protected by the Austrian government and does say that it must be made out of veal.
Oh.
Granted, if you want pork, you can have schnitzel made of pork, and they will call it Wiener Schnitzel vom Schwein, or with pork. But technically, it's supposed to be made with veal, which is how I'm doing it today, and I can't wait to try it. So once the schnitzel is drained, serve it with a bit of lemon and parsley, and here we are.
Looks good. This is actually perfect. Dude. When I made schnitzel on stream, I didn't get it to get this, like, this color. You guys, my stove top is ass. My stove top is just bad.
Schnitzel from 1824. So the first thing that I notice is that the breading is still adhered to the veal, which you'd think was a good thing, but actually that's not what you want in a modern day schnitzel. The bread is supposed to kind of puff up and pull away from the veal, but I think without the addition of that layer of flour, that's just not going to happen. So let's see how it tastes.
I mean, it's not that bad though.
It tastes just like I remember it. It has that wonderful crunch from the breading, but then this really just rich flavor. And partly it's the veal, but partly I think it's the butter that it is fried in. If you're doing this with chicken or pork, you're going to still get some of that really just unctuous butteriness that's absolutely fantastic. Now, the other difference that I see in my schnitzel versus the modern day schnitzel is probably less due to the recipe and more due to my cooking. And that is the golden brown. It's the ones that you get in Vienna are really light golden brown and perfectly uniform in.
Okay, but to be honest, I don't think, I mean, okay, listen, as I said, I'm not Austrian, I'm German, but for me, I like it when it's a bit darker. I like the ones that are a little bit darker for, like, the schnitzel. I don't know, because I personally, I feel like it gives off even more flavor, even if that's not the traditional way. Yeah, it's more crunchy, right?
Color, whereas mine is a little darker and a little bit more mottled, but, you know, the flavor is there and that's what really counts. So as I finish,
I don't think that's like, that matters too much, at least in my opinion.
my Wiener Schnitzel, I am going to answer the question that I'm sure you've all been wondering, and that is, why is the US's largest hot dog chain, Wiener Schnitzel, called Wiener Schnitzel?
This makes me so angry, you guys. I can't. I forgot that this is how you started the video. What do you mean? What do you mean?
If they don't sell Wiener Schnitzel. Well, it was founded by John Gallardi, who was an employee for Taco Bell, and originally he had thought that he would name it John's Hot Dogs, but that wasn't very memorable. So while
oh my god, he could have been John Hot Dog though!
He was having dinner with Glenn Bell, the founder of Taco Bell. Glenn's wife suggested a name that she had seen in a cookbook, Der Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh my
and
god, are you
even though it
kidding
had nothing to do with hot dogs, it was memorable, so they decided, sure, we'll go with that as the name.
Bro. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Guys, I'm gonna open a waffle place and call it the hot dog. How does that sound? You think that's a good idea? They rage biting me so much. What? Oh my god.
After a while,
God.
they dropped the der and just kept the Wiener Schnitzel, obviously not pronouncing it Wiener Schnitzel as in German, but Wiener Schnitzel as in Wiener Schnitzel. And
ain't no way. Ain't no way.
until very recently, they had...
Also, yeah, it's not der Wiener Schnitzel, it's das Wiener Schnitzel. It's not even the right article. Guys, support my model sisters, thank you.
never sold any Wiener Schnitzel. In fact, they still haven't, but they did have a marketing campaign back in, I think, 2017, where they did sell Schnitzel. It was chicken Schnitzel, and it was in the form of a sandwich. That's as close as they've ever got, so...
Okay, but this sounds freaking awesome. Blazing bacon guacamole Schnitzel. What? Oh my god, I want this. I want this so bad. Holy shit. Guys, I love bacon, I love guacamole, I love Schnitzel, holy shit.
If you're gonna go to a Wiener Schnitzel, just expect hot dogs and corn dogs, which are fantastic. But if you want Wiener Schnitzel, you'll either have to head to Vienna or make some at home like I did. And I will see you next time on Tasting History.
Yay! Okay. I'm a bit upset at the restaurant, but maybe their food is good. Maybe their food is good, I guess. I guess. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, come over to Twitch and watch me live, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, YouTube! Bye-bye! Check out Tasting History!